guys. Give it up for Luai Hodi.
Keep it going for Josh. Give him a hand. I feel like if I was a 6'4" white woman, I would want to carry you in a bag. You're just that adorable, man. That's what I'm saying. How you guys doing? You guys having a good night? It's not too bad. It's not too cold. It's been a rough winter, right? It's been kind of a rough winter so far. Bears, bulls, you know, the weather's been, Siberia has been the new keyword. I feel like every time there's a new weather storm, we hear a new word about it, right? So it was snowpocalypse, and then polar vortex. Last year we had a Sharknado. Ridiculous. It's dangerous. But it was pretty cold. It was the first time I had to use my seat warmers, like the driver's side seat warmers. Because I don't need more heat like here. Right? I have enough in this area. So I never use my seat warmers. The only time I use seat warmers is for the passenger seat to keep my pizza warm. Bringing it home. You know? Or if I have like a pretty lady in the car, I'll turn it on in advance, you know, so she knows I'm caring. And I mean, I'm single, so ladies are like on my mind 100% of the time, pretty much. I'm actually dating now. I'm going out on dates, and I've been doing, you know. But I've learned a lot of lessons, and I want to share some of my tips for you guys because I know what I'm doing. All right. It's one thing I've learned that I do now, which is pretty good, is always eat half a sandwich before you go out on the date. Right? And that way, it looks like you have self-control. You know, I know how to manage portions. But don't eat a full sandwich, because then you're too full to have a full meal, and you don't want your date to ever think that she can out-eat you, right? That questions your manhood. She might think you're a vegetarian. But if she's attractive and she's a vegetarian, then you one-up her, you go vegan, all right? You eat ribs at home, and then you go out, you go gluten-free on her. I'm gonna take this up a notch. It is interesting dating because I have a crazy obsession with food. And when I say crazy, I mean I'll eat anything. Pretty much that's free. If you give it to me. And I don't know what it is about free food, but I lose control when it's free. Like you'd think when you pay money, you would eat more. But the cheaper it is, the more I want to eat of it. And the sicker I feel. I don't learn my lesson. I mean, like, for example, have you guys ever seen someone eat an entire rotisserie chicken in one sitting? I have, the other day, in the mirror. It was disturbing. That guy has a problem. He didn't even get a glass of water. He just kept putting chicken in his mouth, and when he choked, he just put more chicken in his mouth. Pushed the chicken back, and I was like, that guy has a problem. I almost lost my appetite watching him. It was ridiculous. But yeah, it's not a new thing. You know, I'm 31, and I've been obsessed with food since I was a little kid. You know, like a lot of kids who went through that kleptomaniac part of their childhood. Did anybody do that? Was anyone like bad at stealing things? Anyone else? No. Yeah. Oh, thank you. A room full of saints. Jeez. You've got a beard. I know you've stolen something. You've got a beard too. Stop laughing. But yeah, I was really big into stealing things, and it wasn't electronics. It was always food. All right, I would go to the Dominick's on my bike, and I would steal a summer sausage and a block of cheese. And then I would sneak into the woods and eat the entire thing, one bite at a time. Like Kids were sneaking in the woods to like drink and smoke weed and look at porn, and I'm in there eating a summer sausage and like a pepperoni rope that's like 30 feet long. It was bad. It was bad. I once stole a whole Little Debbie box of oatmeal cookies and ate all 10 of them until I was sick. And then ate another box. I'm a glutton for punishment. But yeah, I mean, food has dominated my life for so long, so I have to kind of curb that, you know, and have a little control when I'm going on dates, because I don't want to seem unhinged. I don't want to seem, you know, unmanly, that I don't have control of myself. I need to control my animal instincts. I need to be, you know, more womanly. That's what it is. And I've realized that in the last like year or so, I've become super obsessed with my hair, like more than women, to the point where I'm sharing product tips with them that they can learn from. It's gotten so bad that I won't let a straight dude touch my hair anymore. Tom cannot cut my hair. It must be Tomas. Like, I don't want Steve touching my head. I want Stefan with an accent taking care of my due. And it's ridiculous. When you start obsessing about something like that, you then become super self-conscious about it as well. You know, so I've recently started to notice that I kind of have this spot here, right, that's thinning, right? And who loves to make you feel less like a man more than your parents, right? And every time I go to visit my mom out in the suburbs and I'm tying my shoe, she likes to go, right here. This is when you will lose your hair. Thanks, Mom. Love you. I love you too, Lulu. That's her nickname. My coworker likes to call it coming soon every time he sees it. I'm like, thanks, buddy. Because he is completely bald. So he's always comparing me to him. And he's like 4'4". I'm like, I'm not going to shrink and lose my hair. You might. You might. But yeah, I mean, I've got to keep up the manly side and stop, you know, doing the womanly things as much as I can. But I can't help it. You know, there's things about me that are like very feminine. For example, I swoon over babies. I can't help it. All right. I mean, in fact, if you don't swoon over baby, there's something wrong with you, not me, all right? And I love old people. I think they're so adorable. They are, except for when they're driving in front of you. And then they're like, why won't you die already? You're so cute. I can't help it. My favorite old person in the history of old people, my grandpa, of course. He was the cutest little round old man, bald, and he had just this Santa Claus laugh, you know. And he spoke very little English. He said boy, girl, and eat. Those were his English words. You know, and my favorite times with my grandpa were on Sundays. After our parents would take us to church, they would always take us to Sam's Club. And his favorite thing was just to walk around and eat the samples, the free samples. And that was an addiction that I then, you know, got from him. So on the weekdays, I would be like, how can I get those free samples? And I would scheme, you know, I'd be like, all right, get a protractor. I'd be like Tom Cruise from Mission Impossible, a compass, you know, that doesn't work. Like, okay, assess your tools. You have no tools. All right. Assess your skills. You're brown. That's it. It's your only skill. So I used to kind of like hide outside the Sam's Club and just wait for any brown family to walk by and just like sneak in. I'd be like, yalla, yalla, yes, this is my family. Yes, yes. Sí, mi familia, sí. Yes, this is my family. Thank you guys. My name's Luai Hodi.